Masechet Zevahim Daf Kof He, continuing from Kof Dalet Amud Bet. First, like halfway downish. First word in the line is Uchmut Mitzvotan. 27 lines down. Ba'ir Rebbe Miyad asks a question. Keeping the meat overnight, does that make it pasul for the bulls that are being burnt or the goats that are being burnt? Do we say when does keeping something overnight make it pasul? When you're eating the meat. Since you're not eating them, you're just burning them. Maybe it's not pasul. Maybe there's no difference. Abai asked this question. Upashtan Lahani asked him found Breta. Vishavim Shim Hishev. They Hachamim and Rabbi Shimon agreed that if the Kohen had equal intention while they were doing the blood avodot, Achilat Parim Misrafetan, while consuming the meat or the bulls or by burning them outside, Shelo Asa Klum, it doesn't make a difference, does not make a pigul. My love must be received from here. Midachshavalo Basar, just like intention does not make it pasul. Lina Namila Pasasa, keeping it overnight does not make it pasul. Where it says "V'dilma machshava hud lapazla v'lina basla." Who says make it? Hey, maybe pigul doesn't become tameh, but keeping overnight will. Where it says tashma parim and esafim, these bulls and goats, mu'alim beheading makes it true they are chayav mi'ila. If you touch them, you're chayav from staying bet midash while they were kadosh. Yishhatu when they're slaughtered, hushuruli pasel b'tilu yom, they are considered able to become tameh. Uh, by tilu yom, a guy was who dipped, but he's still waiting for the day nighttime. Mukhtar Kibbutz or a guy who dipped, but he's waiting for bringing a korban. Belina or keeping it overnight. My lab did not besar. So if you keep it overnight, the meat becomes pasul. Proof. The Gemara says not proof. Not the emurin referring to the emurin sacrificial parts. The Gemara says from the next part of the Mishnah says kulan mu'alin beben betadishin. Everything's part and parcel to be able to chayav meila even after they're put on the ashes location. Until the meat decomposes. So it must be mizel basar. Since the second part is about meat, Rosh Hashanah says we're beginning to talk about meat, and it's not the emurin. The Gemara says who says? Maybe it is separate. The Gemara says maybe the second part is meat, and the first part is emurin. Tashman is approved. The time Levi held she'irap and pesul b'tziatan. In a case where they put the meat by the ashes to be burnt, and the psul happened after left the hazer. My lavlina, seemingly a psul can happen after they're leaving. Maybe he's referring to overnight, and overnight can make a pasul. The Gemara says la pasul tumah psul is yad in a case where you brought it out to the wrong place, or the psul of tumah. By the way, there's a question. It's yat ma'us leaving the hazer before zirika. Does that make the bulls and the goats pasul? The Gemara says, Mike Mali, what's the question? Where's the Mariam Baba? According to that holds, Adain lo Hagias, but it said since the time did not arrive yet, it's Pasul, he holds this concept. Miyamrinan, how many does that only apply to the meat? The answer for Chabad, that where it's not leaving, but since these bulls and goats are being burned, since you are bringing it out low, it's not a problem if you bring it out too early. Well, Dima Achnami, we'll hear as well. Lo Hagias, but said since it's too early, it's Pasul. The Gemara says, Tashmas, my proof, I'm let it be held. Shirabo, Pasul, Bitziato. A pesul that happened after you left, my la pesul yisya must be referring to leaving. Remember I said la pesul tumah pesulina. Talking about a case of pesul tumah or leaving overnight. The bulls and goats being burnt. What if a majority of the body left, and a minority of one part of the limb exited? Do we say that this minor part that is considered majority of the limb, part of the majority of the limb is still inside, therefore it didn't leave? Since the minor part of the limb is attached to the majority of the animal which is out, we consider the whole thing out. It says, we don't say that since it's the majority is out, we follow the limb. If let's see half the carcass left with majority of a limb. Now, regarding the minor part of the limb which is still inside, but do we go after the majority of the limb which is outside, and then the minor is considered of left? Do we say majority of the animals? The Gemara says, take Ravuna answer. Ravuna has the same question regarding the man, not the animal. Five people are carrying the animal. Three left. Two is still inside. But we go according to the majority of the people left. And therefore, if it's most people left. Because 3 out of 5. Where we go after the majority of the animal. And the majority of the animal is still in. The Gemara says, take the bull and goats that are being burnt. I said they left the haser and they came back in. Are the men still tameh? Yemen Kevin who Itamud since they left there, but Tameh like normal. Well, Dima became the head since they returned. I do they returned, and therefore as if they didn't leave, and therefore they're not Tameh. Amar be Abba Mal after nothing approved. Hayus of Lino Tan de Motor. They're carrying them on poles. Rishim Misul Hotahmar Azra. Our Mishnah said those who are carrying them in front left the Haser. About the guys in the back to not leave yet. Rishim Shesu Hosa Hamat Zra. But Emin Lagadim that goes in front to become Tameh. Our Nim Helian Tamin Gadim Shesu and the Lagons in the back to not become Tameh till they leave. These are the Kevin the Naflo the most. If you want to say that the ones that left are Tameh. Even the ones inside should become tameh. Must be that since it's their turn, it's as if he didn't leave. Gemara says, why is it logical? They have to leave, enter the camp. They didn't leave. That's what the Gemara says. What's this question? Some more case where the second group held the body with long sticks. So in the case where they brought it back in, guys who were outside grabbed the sticks, preparing to grab it out from the inside. Is that becoming tameh because they're outside? Bulls that are being burnt with paraduma, or a goat that's being sent to Azazel and Kippur. The guy who's sending it, or the guy who's burning it, or the guy who's carrying the bulls out, they are tameh their garments. They themselves, the animals themselves, do not make the garments pasul tameh. But they do make the food and liquids tameh. They would merit according to the man. I'm say para uparin mitamein ochlin umashkin. The bodies of the paraduma and the bulls do not make food and liquids tameh. Also, the goat for does not make tameh. Show chai what's light. And the lion animal never makes food and liquids tameh. When does it die? When they throw it off the cliff in Yom Kippur. Bishlam Rabbi Meir makes Rabbi Meir, who does not make a difference between the bulls and the goat. Mentions seeds becoming tameh. If the sheretz falls on seeds, tahor. Just like seeds, which can never become an avatuma. And they have to be prepared for tumah to become wet for off. So too, anything that does not become avatuma also needs to be prepared for tumah, becoming wet or something. That's thought, therefore, it excludes the carcass of a kosher bird, which will become tumah, but does not need to become prepared. Therefore, same would apply to a living animal that becomes tumah. That anything that is able to become tameh can immediately make something tameh. Now, I feel even the live animals should become tameh. And I'll become tameh. He's not holding it. I feel parah and how does it, if he does not hold it, and how does he know that parah and bulls also can make things tameh? He said, I don't know what he said in Israel. These type of things need the preparation of tumah from another location, meaning it has to acquire tumah from a different location. These live animals, since they're never fit to tameh, would not make it tameh, even according to Beishma. Okay, Payalazat. Even bulls are being burnt, goats being burnt. What's halachad? Is something, if it did not leave yet, is it treated like something that's lacking an action to allow it to change status? Meaning, the bulls and goats that are still in the haser will not make things tameh because since they did not reach the avatuma potential because they didn't leave yet. Although maybe not. Since they're going to be, they can make it tameh from now. The Gemara says, once he asked it, he answered it. It is considered lacking, and therefore they did not make it tameh in the haser. The carcass of a non-slaughtered kosher animal, it makes foods tameh. What about regarding a piece of a olive size? A kazayit size. Gemara says, we say it's lying on the ground, you don't have to become asked if it's not become tameh, because definitely it is not. Then I keep window to be left, if it's still in its mouth, you don't have to ask, because it's definitely not tameh. It does become tameh, because it becomes tameh by swallowing. Where's our question? Then I cut that he's holding in his hand before he eats it, and then he touches the food. Since it did not, since it did not put in his mouth yet, is that considered missing in action or not? He answered it. It's not considered light, and therefore, while it's in his hands, it can make something else to make. If you have a question, 13 mentioned by the animal, dead body of a kosher animal that was not slaughtered. This is one of them. Needs intention. Does not need preparation. It needs intention. The guy has an intent to eat it. Mutamed tumat ochlim tbetzar. It makes things tameh size of an egg. Ma'alav Rabbi Meir is like according to Meir. Not kzayit. The Gemara says, La, the banana is hamim. Latani Resha Tzricha Makshav and Tzricha Hechsher. Uman Shemana, that's who hold it is. The Meir is according to Meir. The Mishnah Meir, say for the Namir Meir. Sounds like the first side of Meir and the second Meir. The one says that Meir Ite, who says that? Taki the one part Mishnah could be Meir, the second part Mishnah could be Rabbanan. Or it says, Long Sefer, the next part Mishnah says, Shahitata and Liatat and Teredet Tirfata Mizmata. Slaughtering or milika of a bird makes it tahor, and terefa makes it tameh. Man Shemata Hasara who holds it. This is Meir is going to the Meir. Resh Sefer Meir say the Meir. Now sounds like you're saying the first and last is the Meir, and the middle is a Chachamim. We don't like splitting up the Mishnah like that, but we say in yes. Resh Sefer Meir and Mitzvah Rabbanan. Splitting it up. Amad Humna Rabbi Bezerah. Yes, a question. Not to Teva Ka'arach Hach Amarli has not done. Don't sit down to tell me the answer of my question. Nevilat of Tahor the Meir. According to the Meir, when an olive volume of a dead body of a kosher bird makes something from it, Monilino Rishon V'Shnei, do we count Rishon and Shani levels of Tumah from it, or any Monin Rishon Shani? Do not count from that. So we start from one or two level. Amarli answers, just like anything that touches a person through physical contact, Monin Bor Rishon V'Shnei count one, two levels. Kol Heichad it's not a person, it's not. Therefore, the animal bird does not make it physical contact. Therefore, we don't count Rishon Shani. It's just what?